Richard, where do you stand on sparkling waters and your everyday drinks? Are you a coffee guy? What do you consume? I know you wake up early like we do.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy. I'm pretty abnormal as far as that. I know a lot of people like coffee. Never been a coffee drinker. Unfortunately, I drink Diet Coke. I know it's not the best for you, but I'm kind of addicted to Diet Coke.
Over Coke Zero? Tommy's the Coke Zero.
Yeah. Diet Coke.
I get that. Yeah, I tried Coke Zero. I'm a Diet Coke guy. There's been a restaurant or two that only had Coke Zero, not Diet Coke. And to be honest with you, Megan and I both love Diet Coke. So sometimes that dictates where we go to eat. To be honest with you.
Oh, it does. I mean, because it's usually just the opposite. We don't have Coke Zero, sir. We got Diet Coke, or worse, Diet Pepsi. I'm out. I'll never eat with you again.
Oh, well, Pepsi. Why do restaurants in the South carry Pepsi? That seems like a Midwestern, maybe East Coast deal. Why do you? And we do. We'll check the website if we think, well, we haven't eaten over here. Let's try this. But we always check. If it's Pepsi, no, we go elsewhere.
Yeah. And people don't think it's that big a deal, but it is. It is. So
Pepsi.
I'm with you.
Not a fan of Pepsi. Learn something about Richard every single day. Well, Richard, maybe you could teach our audience something about this past weekend. Guys that I saw was a big weekend, and Petrino was talking about it earlier last week, and I don't know what the schedule looks like being an early game, but any recaps, any thoughts from this past weekend at Fayetteville with guys that visited for Texas A&M, especially getting a little bit of that night atmosphere?
Yeah, I think they were impressed. I mean, how could you not? I mean, this was one of the first games that I guess at least home team wise. I mean, obviously that it was. They had a lot to cheer about, and they tried to cheer on the defense. The defense had a few stops here or there, but just wasn't able to do it consistently. But I think obviously it was an L, but I think and a lot of uncertainty about the future of the program, as far as who's going to be the head coach. But when you leave an atmosphere like that, regardless of you lose, you have to be impressed, and I think the kids were.
Yeah, Richard, I think it's just a tough spot right now. I mean, I guess Petrino has to move forward as though he's going to be the head coach. His staff's got to recruit like they're going to be there. Everybody knows, wink, wink. Maybe you only need to wink, wink. Everybody knows that there's a lot of uncertainty around that. I'm not sure. What's your message right now? What do you sell when there's so much uncertainty around this program? And I know the others are in this boat, but how do you go about the process right now of your Petrino and staff?
Yeah, I know in the past, staff similar to this would say, "Hey, we plan on being here." That's fine. I mean, that's the attitude you have to have, because what if they are there and you're not recruiting? Then all of a sudden when you realize, okay, hey, we got the job. We're gonna be here. We'll start recruiting again. You can't do that, obviously. So you got to continue to recruit like you're going to be there, and tell kids, hey, we plan on being here. I mean, and that shows that you obviously, some of it's lip service, but some of it, they may firmly believe that. So you just have to do the best you can, and hopefully at the end of the day, that's good enough to get it, get a few more years and be able to have some stability.
Man, I'd have an analyst or a GA, someone I trusted that I thought had a good eye to evaluate talent and find it. I'd have them parked in a room watching every group of 5 game I could get my hands on tape-wise, and trying to find people that may be in the portal, or people I want to maybe urge to get in the portal, because what's more important than high school recruiting now is trying to figure out who in the portal can make a difference for you immediately. So I'm sure a lot of programs are doing that, and I'm sure Arkansas is no different. But figuring that part out for January 2nd or whatever it's going to be now is probably going to determine a lot more about what happens next year.
Yeah, well, I can assure you, they've been looking at film at kids that on teams that they suspected there could be a coaching change, and and some of them have come true, and I'm sure they're looking at film of guys that could, on teams that could potentially come open, like Auburn and LSU, or whoever. Who knows? Who knows who's going to be next? But you always do that, and you try to come up with a plan as far as who you like the most, and go from there. But obviously, some of it's going to come down to how much you can pay them. You hope you can be in the same ballpark or somewhat close in the same ballpark. Arkansas, I think I've mentioned this in the past. Arkansas, I guess earlier in the year, had a commit to Arkansas, who took less money than what he was offered at another school. And sometimes those relationships, that's where relationships do help you. And a kid can say, well, I can take, I'll take a 100,000 less or 150,000 less or whatever, whatever the number was. I don't know the exact number, but I know it was less. And now he's no longer committed to Arkansas, which he totally understand with the coaching change. But he liked Arkansas and the relationship he had with the coaches enough to make that decision to be a Razorback at one point, until he wasn't, but for less money. So it can be done. Oftentimes it's the highest bidder, but sometimes it can be done.
Richard, Tommy's asking about the portal there. RD with this Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. How much philosophy-wise changes with them moving that portal cycle, if at all?
I'm not going to say much. It's just going to be more intense. You really need to try, whoever the next coach is, whether it's Coach Petrino or who else. First item of business, along with hiring your assistant coaches, is getting enough guys in the recruiting evaluation portal room or whatever to get ready for when the portal opens on January the 2nd. You need to they should have around a month or at least 3 weeks before the portal opens. There will be kids that will announce that they plan to get in the portal, so before then, and then they'll obviously officially be in the portal when it opens. So you need to be able to have enough guys or enough people to evaluate who you want to go after, create a board, and then there's going to be some kids that maybe you didn't expect jump in when the portal does open, and you need to be able to reach out to them and try to communicate with them and try to get them on campus. That's basically what they did last year, but it's going to the portal opened December the 9th and went to the 28th. That's almost like 3 weeks or something. This is going to be like 2 weeks, and it's just going to be absolutely jam-packed, intense, and because everybody's going to be reaching out to a lot of the same kids, and you got to make a strong impression right off the bat, and again, a lot of it goes back to money too.
So let's pull off three of us. Well, me and you, Richard, aren't naive. Well, I won't include Ty, but let's not be naive a minute. These negotiations and where kids are going to go, they're not going to wake up January 2nd and start deciding. A lot of these conversations are going to happen in December.
Or right now.
Or right now. Maybe Ty's not as naive as I thought. How do you go out and deal with that? Because I think if you're waiting until January 2nd, you're not behind the 8 ball. You're behind the bus that's behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, you reach out to their agents. You're not directly talking to the kid, or you reach out to people close to the kid. High school coach, what have you. And, a lot of that communication's happening now. High school coach can say, hey, Coach Kraft, University of Arkansas, Ty Richardson is not very happy where he is, and he's looking to move, and he is interested in coming to the University of Arkansas. Would you have interest? And then you should have a pretty quick answer, and then once it's all supposedly legal, you start that communication directly, and instead of a third party, and go from there.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.